Yo, I got a funny video, bro. Now, this is not something that I normally make a video out of. I just saw something, I was just watching it, and it just made me laugh. And I was like, "Huh, I want to talk about this. I don't have to talk about this, but I want to talk about this. Because this is different. This is different stuff. This is how you know, like, there's different levels to picking up people, picking up girls and stuff like that. All right, so right now I'm watching a live. This is Fresh and Fit. They're actually currently still live right now, actually. But I just happened to see that it was live, and I was like, hey, I never catch them live. Like, I'll see clips, and sometimes I'll watch like some of like the lives that they've done in the past. But they'd be like 3-4 hours sometimes. And I'll watch some of it just to see what was happening. But I don't really follow them heavy like that. So I'm not like a big Fresh and Fit viewer. But I know the gist of what they're about. I don't have anything bad or good to say about them because I don't really follow them like that. But I thought this was funny. Anyway, let me click it so you can see what's going on.
He makes the allegation basically that I'm out here Weinsteining.
Oh, so right now, Fresh and Fit, they have this kind of beef with Abba. Abba's the dude on the right, I believe, or is he Preach? I think he's Abba. I don't really follow them like that either. Nothing against them, I just don't really follow them that heavy. But I've seen a couple of their videos, but not enough to really be able to tell which one is Abba. I think this is the guy on the right though. But anyway, Abba and Preach, they were clowning Fresh. No, they're clowning Fit, like the Muslim guy. I think he's Muslim. Is clowning him for, I guess, trying to get women to come on the podcast, but also letting them know, hey, if you want to be on the podcast, then you gotta let me pipe. All right, I smash, you come on the pod. I smash, you be a cast. You want to be a cast, I gotta smash. All right, so that's how they are seeing Fit based on some text messages on Instagram that was exposed between Fit and some girl that he tried to get on the show. So that's what this is.
They have to fucking it.
He makes the allegation basically that I'm out here Weinsteining these hoes. Okay. Oh, you got to smash her. Come on.
Come to find out, this man's telling girls in the DMs that if they want to come on the platform, they have to fucking. If they don't,
hold on, stop the show. Unlike Alba and Preach, I got the entire conversation right fucking here.
So he has the entire conversation. Now Fit is saying that he's not just telling girls, hey, you wanna come on the show? You gotta smash. He's not just saying it straight out, but when he scrolled up, because he gotta scroll up and show the entire message, and I was like, let me just pause it and just like read it real quick.
Oh, look at this. See how he takes this one part right here. I'm just being honest. I stand by it, blah, 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 blah. But he doesn't show y'all the entire conversation of her talking shit for hours on hours on hours on hours to me.
All right. So we about to read this. Now, I already read it, and I laughed. So my second laugh might not be as genuine because I already laughed at it. I got my laugh out, but I guess you could probably get yours too. Now, I didn't even look up who this person is. Anna Quinn. Let me see. Who is this person? So I'm gonna look up this person real quick. Anna Quinn. Anna Quinn Fitness? Is that? Oh yeah, Anna Quinn Fitness. Let me get some images. Who the hell is this person? Look, she has short hair. Is that shorty right here? Anna Quinn. I guess that's this person right over here. I guess that's this. This is not a good pic. Why is it so blurry? I don't know why it's so blurry. I guess this is her. Anna Quinn. I don't know why the pics are blurry as hell for whatever reason. Is this her? Maybe she had longer hair before, but okay, she's a nice looking woman. All right, she's definitely not someone you probably wouldn't want to say hi to. You know what I mean? Just to put it lightly, for YouTube terms. But anyway, So he was trying to get her on the show, basically. So look what he says. He says, "Yo, we should do a collab." So that's the pitch. All right, his introduction is, "Yo, we should do a collab." So this is now here's the thing. I'm not clowning how he do what he's done. I'm just bringing up like, yo, this is how people apparently who got the clout, who has some type of business or at least podcast. This is probably how other people are probably doing their girl hunting. You know, when they trying to just have some fun. But he's trying to mix it. You know, have some business and pleasure at the same time. I ain't knocking it. If it works, it works. So he said, "Yo, we should do a collab." Then she says, "Hey, sure. What you got in mind?" Little smiley face. Right? Then he says, "Interested in a YouTube collab in Miami?" She goes, "Sure. I'm not sure when I'm gonna be in Miami, but I can definitely let you know next time I'm out there." All right.
Prior to it, okay?
So,
She goes.
all right. So, right. Then he says, "When's the soonest you can be out here?" Then she goes, "Friday." So it's like when he says, "When's the soonest you can be out here?" It kind of, cause she said, "I'm not sure when I'm gonna be in Miami." So by him saying, "When's the soonest you can be out here," it kind of insinuates that he's possibly going to be willing to fly her out here, right? Like if you say, "When's the soonest you can be out here?" Because I mean, why would she rush and pay herself to go over there? She's not in a rush to go over there. You approaching her. And the way I look at things, even in my own life, if you're inviting, you're paying most of the time. Like that's how I look at it. If you're inviting, you're paying. I know if I invite a girl to go out, I'm basically planning on paying for that invite. You know, even with my cousins, sometimes if I invite them to do something, in my mind, I'm thinking I'm willing to pay because I'm paying for them to come hang out with me or whatever. You know what I mean? But obviously, you know, some people, they could pay for their own if they want. But anyway, so this kind of feels like he's planning on flying her out, right? So she says Friday, LOL. And I guess she's laughing out loud because she's thinking like, is he planning on flying me out, right? So then
Goes ahead.
Oh shit, so he going fast. So then he goes, this is him now. "Oh damn, I'll be in Vegas this Friday, but next week? Also, we do a night show where we discuss dating and relationships. Are you single or married?" All right, so apparently he doesn't know this girl. He doesn't know anything about her personal life. I guess he just found her on Instagram and like what he saw. So he doesn't know if she's single or married or whatever the case is. So he doesn't know her personally, I guess. I want me to make it happen, or should I plan for next week? So she completely like disregards this right here. Then he goes, it would have to be next week if we did it. Basically, if we did the show, if we did the podcast with you on it, it would have to be next week. Then she goes, would early next week work, like Monday or Tuesday? And then he goes, that would be tough. Hey, you didn't answer the relationship question. And he laughs because he's like, hey, you still didn't answer the relationship question. You didn't see that? And then she goes, oh, I'm so sorry. That message actually didn't load until just now for some reason. I am single. I mean, whether that's true or not, what she said about the message not loaded, I'm not too sure. I don't really text on Instagram like that, so I don't really know how that works. And then she says also, she says, I'm single. I'm actually not dating anyone either right now. I dated someone for a couple months last year, and before that, I was single for about 2 years, but I love that topic. So she said all this extra stuff about dated someone for a couple months last year, and before that I was single for about 2 years. Okay. But yeah, she sounded interested. Like, all right, this sounds cool. And then this is where things just go way left out of nowhere, right?
And I did.
So he goes, all right, cool. I'm up front that I'm not gonna do anything platonic with you. Just being honest. So let me read that again. He goes, all right, cool. I'm up front that I'm not gonna do anything platonic with you. Just being honest. Now, up until this point, the entire conversation was about collab on a podcast, uh, this answering relationship questions. This is all like business moves, right? And then right here, he throws in, I'm not trying to do anything platonic with you, meaning that I'm not trying to be just friends, professional with you. Which obviously, if he's not trying to do that, he's trying to do the opposite. The opposite, flirt, basically something sexual, basically. You know what I mean? He wants romance, intimacy. Maybe not romance, but intimacy. Right? So that's what he's saying. He's trying to pipe, right? So then she goes, which is, I'm not gonna lie, it is understandable for her to say this, you know, because it threw me off when I read it. You know what I mean? So she goes, I'm confused. I'm not trying to do anything with you except collab, because it did come out of nowhere. There was no warm up to that, right? Now you can say, you could probably say it would be naive to believe that some guy in a whole nother state is gonna randomly contact you in your DMs, which everybody knows. There's a whole song called "It Go Down in the DMs," right? And is gonna want to fly you out to be a part of the panel of guests who are not really like guests, because you're not the main guest. You'll probably just be one of the girls, because that's how Fresh and Fit normally does it. They'll normally have like a group of girls, and they'll have their main guest be in the middle, which most of the time is a guy, and the guy will be surrounded by a group of girls, and then they'll basically ask the guy what he thinks about certain relationship stuff, and then he'll get the girls' opinions on how they feel about that same topic, and you know, whatever. So I'm guessing she probably was gonna just be one of those girls who would have been within the group of girls, rather than her being the main guest surrounded by a group of girls or men. I don't know. So she was probably just gonna be, you know, just one of the group of girls. So you'll probably think it'd be kind of naive for her to think that this guy just wants to fly her all the way out just to be one of the group of girls, when he's in Miami, which Miami has a bunch of beautiful women who would be readily available. You know what I mean? So I guess from the outside looking in, you'll be thinking, I mean, obviously he's trying to fly her out because he's trying to pipe. That's it. So that's that, just to clear the air on that, right? So I'm not thinking, like, I'm not naive about the situation. So maybe she was being naive, or maybe she really thought that this was just a collab opportunity.
And I went ahead of guys, and this is all in a.
All right, so then after she basically declines it, she's like, I'm confused. I'm not trying to do anything with you except collab. Then he goes, no problem. I collab directly with girls I date. No pressure though. So basically, that's a nice little a takeaway move. Now, if you're like talking to a girl, and let's say, like an example of a takeaway, for example, let's say you're talking to a girl, you texting or whatever on the phone, whatever, and you're trying to set up a date, and you tell her, hey, next week Friday, you free to go out next week Friday, whatever. And then she goes, let's say she goes, yeah, I'm free to go next week Friday. All right, bet. You make a whole date set. Now, when Thursday comes, she's telling you, hey, can we change it from Friday to maybe like Saturday, because something just came up and I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it Friday, right? Then the takeaway would be, I have plans set for Saturday. I made plans with you for Friday. If you can't make it tomorrow Friday, then maybe we'll just have to do this some other time. But you don't make an actual date. You just say, we'll just have to do this some other time. Now she's gonna think, okay, what other time is it gonna be? Is it gonna be another time? I don't know if he's upset about that or how he feels about that. And then if she really cares about seeing you, then she'll make the date. She'll be like, you know what? Let's just keep it Friday. I'll see what I can do. Let's just keep it Friday. So the takeaway is basically removing the offer, basically. I guess I could have just said that. All right, so he did a little takeaway move. I'm not no pickup artist stuff, but I have some knowledge as far as, talking to girls. I've had plenty experience in my life. So anyway, so the takeaway, he says, no problem. I collab directly with girls I date. No pressure though. All right. And he doesn't ask her a question, nothing like that, which is dope. He's not like, he's clearly trying to like let her understand that he's not pressed about this. Like, hey, I'm just throwing out an offer. If you're not interested, that's fine. And he wants her to understand that everything is fine. Everything is still cool here. All right, no pressure. And then she goes, so if we aren't dating, you don't want to collab? Which is it's a valid question.
A 5-hour stream.
And then he goes, no. Meaning like, no, he doesn't want to collab. And if we're not dating, no, we're not collabing. And then he goes, don't mean to be an asshole, but we have plenty of women in Miami. So now this basically makes it clear that his only interest as far as him interacting with her just now was to fly her out so he can pipe. Simple as that. He found her to be very attractive and he wanted to see if she was enticed by his status or his clout, enticed enough to be blown out and dug out, basically. Flown out and dug out, basically. That's basically what it was. It's not terrible. If you want to bring that out there, he wants to invite that offer. There's nothing wrong with sending out an offer. You're giving someone an option. There's people out there that are down to go ahead with that option. You don't know unless you throw it out there, So he didn't do anything wrong. He just sent out an invitation. It's a wild invitation that you might not be common with, but it's just an invitation. All right. So anyway, so after he said that, right, he said, don't mean to be an asshole, but we have plenty of women in Miami. Then she goes, well, same, LOL. We have plenty of men here in California, so why would I fly out to Miami to date one who I know nothing about? Now she's in California. That does make sense. She's not like in Wisconsin or something or Minnesota. She's in a poppin' state. California. I don't think California. I mean, sure, it's Hollywood, but I mean, there's a Hollywood area in California, but I don't think California is as poppin' as Miami right now. I think Miami is hitting harder right now than California and possibly even New York. And I live in New York. Just warmer weather. It's just like all year round. It's just that's definitely a step up from New York. But I do love having all the seasons in New York. But that's a whole nother state, a whole nother story, basically. All right. So anyway, so she said what she said. Listen, like California, I live in California. Like there's plenty of men here. Why would I fly out to Miami to date? Like, especially to date somebody that I know nothing about. All right. So that was valid. That was a valid point.
In a 5-hour stream where
all right. And I'm not taking any sides here. I'm just pointing out what I see. So she says that, and then he goes, that he explains why she would do that, why she would fly out to Miami to date someone that she know nothing about. He goes, well, simple. Attractive women are common. High value men are not. No hard feelings though. So this is kind of like it's like he's basically saying like, listen, you're an attractive woman, but obviously there's attractive women everywhere. Which is true. That's true. I go outside, I find attractive women on every block that I walk on. It's true. I mean, your levels of attraction, could differ based on your taste, but attractive enough for you to want to, dig out. Basically, you're gonna find out on every other block, right? Now, high value men, everyone have their own interpretation of what a high value man is. I know his is probably similar to, I know he had Kevin Samuels. He had Kevin Samuels on before, and Kevin Samuels had like a very like detailed I guess, description of what a high value man, what that meant to him. You know, something about like earning like over $120,000 a year for at least 5 years, and they have a certain status where they are basically what he said. He had a whole list. You know what I mean? He's basically like saying that they're useful, other high value men acknowledge them, and all this extra stuff. You know, which is true. High value men, as far as in that sense, you're not gonna find them on every other block. I'll say that. You're not gonna find them on every other block. It's not that common. As far as that description goes. So anyway, so he says what he says, right? Attractive women are common, high value men are not. No hard feelings though. So he ends it off like that. He's not saying anything to continue the conversation. He's basically saying what he has to say, and that's it. Like he's like, the conversation could end right here, but obviously the girl, she couldn't let it go. So she wanted to keep talking. She goes, "You haven't proven to me that you are a high value man, and actually, I know quite a few high value men. I'm not just an attractive woman. I'm an entrepreneur with a 6-figure business and a high profile of assets. I'm nothing but common. No hard feelings." So she says that. Now, she basically said the same thing that he said, right? She tried to, like, I guess, close off with the same ending as him. But she kind of messed it up. She could have left it like that and see what happens, but
All right, debunk
she
this
couldn't.
shit.
She couldn't help herself. She had to keep writing. She couldn't help herself. She said, "In fact, wasn't my friend neighbor Mike Rashid just on your show?" Right? Now remember, this thread right here, if I'm reading this right, it was somewhere around 10:17 to 10:30. I'm assuming this whole piece right here was. She continues.
Back up for y'all, because you guys can see here that she's going.
Yeah, she continues 1 o'clock in the morning. Like, this was like on her mind heavy. She just couldn't stop thinking about this interaction. And as you can see, he stopped messaging her like around like 10:30. And he was done with it. Like he said, no hard feelings though. And he left it like that. She just kept on going, bro. It's like she couldn't just leave the, like, basically she declined the offer, right? And then he still stated, like, listen, she declined the offer and then said, hey, so that means if we're not dating, we can't do a collab. And because he stood on that and said, yeah, we can't do the collab because if we're not dating, no collab. No hard feelings though. So now it's like, now she feels rejected. And I think that's the reason why she couldn't let it go. She just kept on texting because, I mean, a wise man once said rejection breeds obsession. I heard a wise man say that. I consider him wise. Much older guy, a lot of experience. He definitely had a lot of wisdom. And I remember him saying that. He said, rejection breeds obsession. I don't know if I said that right the first time. So because he said no hard feelings though, like after he said what he said, and he left it like that, she just kept on texting, bro. And anyway, and he wasn't responding. So then it's like a few hours later, she's still awake. But who knows? She's in California. He's in Miami. So if she in California, is I guess you can say this. It's 1 o'clock in the morning for him, right? Because he's in Miami, which is Eastern Standard Time. So California, it got to be like 10 o'clock, like 10:08. So it's not that late. So it's not like she's up 1 o'clock in the morning. So I guess I could pipe that down. Now that I think about that, right? So it's not like it's 1 o'clock in the morning for her. He was posting like, yo, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. She's still texting me, bro. But it's 1 o'clock in the morning for you, not for her. For her, she's in California. It's like 10 o'clock over there. Anyway, so she says, high value men don't talk the way you just did. I have 75 people on my story who voted in the last hour and can't believe what you said. The comments are insane. Not one person has your side or thinks your approach is appropriate. You are tripping, dude. Right? So basically what she did was she created like a poll on her Instagram, I'm assuming. And she said that 75 people voted that he was bugging in his approach. Like, she felt so pressed by this interaction that she chose to post it. Now, I don't know, maybe because she realized that this guy was actually big on YouTube and had a large following, and maybe she saw it as an opportunity to show, hey, look at this this guy who approached me for a show, and this is his approach. He's trying to fly me out to pipe, but he's using the show as a disguise, all right, as a front, basically, to get me to come out to basically dig me out type shit, right? So that's what so I don't know what could be the reason behind that. Could it be clout? I mean, well, she didn't initially say who it was. She didn't say it in her post initially. I don't know if she said it later on, but initially I guess she blanked out his name. So it's like, could it have been for clout? Could it have been just to be like, hey, look, somebody who has his own business, who's actually doing well for himself, who has a show, a podcast. He wants me. He's trying to fly me out, and this was his approach. Like, what do you guys think? Or was it just humorous and she just wanted to, hey, look what people doing out here? I don't know. I don't know what the reason is, right? Could have been for clout. Maybe she thought it was funny. Who knows? Anyway, so she continues and she goes, maybe you should have me on your podcast so I can teach you how to talk to women. So now when she says that, I don't know if she's just saying that to like troll him, or if she's saying that because she really wants to get on the podcast, because now that she feels kind of like she's being rejected, that now it makes her want to be on it even more. Now that she's been looking at his stuff, she probably been scrolling through his Instagram probably within the past hour or two, probably like really stalking his stuff and just investigating who this guy is and everything. And probably now she probably really wants to go out there. It's possible. It could be that, or she could just be trolling and not really care about going out there, but just trying to say, hey, you don't know how to talk to women.
Going in, talking shit at 1 o'clock. Look at the timestamp. 1 a.m, talking shit, making threats, taking screenshots of how she's trying to put.
All right, so Fit, I mean, it's 1 o'clock in the morning in Miami, but that means it's like 10 o'clock at night, like the day before, basically, in California. So it's not that late in Cali, you know. But the fact that she continued talking, texting him like this quadruple texting him, she just couldn't. She just kept on going, sending him screenshots. She was really trying to get his attention, trying to get him to continue to converse with her. He was basically done with it. And honestly, I see the screenshots is the only reason why he got back in the conversation. And I guess it was to kind of save face, to not make it seem like he was trying to be secretive with it. So you're gonna see what he did. So anyway, she wrote, this is her screenshots right here. Someone in her, I guess, who follows her on Instagram, they said, expose his name, please. The world needs to know. First of all, the world doesn't need to know. Expose his name, please. Who is that? Is that a guy? It looks like a guy posing, like in a black and white photo. Like, come on, bro. Expose his name, please. The world needs to know. I don't know, bro. There be some comments I be reading, bro. I'm like, bro, what's your life about, man? Why didn't I think of that? It's like a crappy porn script that's pretty insulting. All right, it's like a crappy porn script of the way he approached you on Instagram. I'm not gonna lie, I could see that. It's kind of funny. Like, that was a funny
Put me on blast on
post.
Instagram.
So she sends him all. She keeps sending him all these fucking. Oh, see, look, see, it's 10:30 at night for her. See, right there, it says 10:28 p.m. So for her, it's not 1 o'clock in the morning. So now, Fit gets fed up, right? So now Fit gets fed up because he's like, yo, you keep texting me. I'm getting all these damn messages now. My phone is fucking blowing up. I'm getting annoyed now. And then now you're screenshotting our conversation, and now you're trying to use this opportunity to put me on blast. You think you're putting me on blast now? All right. So now he's like, all right, bet. Well, I'm gonna go 100% on this. Before he went like 70 or 80%. 70 or 80% as far as being how clear he was with his intentions. Right? He's basically saying, hey, you want to collab? Hey, I'm not looking for anything platonic. I only collab with people that I date. Right? So it's kind of like, if you dig deep into it, like, all right, he basically wants to smash, but he's not just outright saying it. Right? It's like 80% saying it. But now he goes, I'm just being honest and stand by it. I'm not collaborating with you unless we F. Right? And then he says, you have effed a bunch of dudes I know and aren't special. So now, when he said aren't special, I think he meant the dudes. And I'm bringing that up because later on she mentioned something about how she is special. Like down here she says, and I am pretty damn special. I think he meant the dudes. I don't think he meant you effed a bunch of dudes and dudes I know and you aren't special. I think he just meant that the dudes that she effed in the past that he knows aren't special. Like she basically got piped by some regular dudes basically. All right, some average Joes basically. That's how he made it seem. So that's what I think he meant when he said that. And then he says, you could have just said no, which is true. I agree with him on this part. I totally agree with him on this part. He said, you could have just said no and kept it moving. All right. Which lets me, and by him saying that and kept it moving, that tells me that this approach clearly isn't his first time approaching someone with this. That this approach has been done plenty of times. And he's gotten some success out of it. No judgment. No judgment here. But that's what that line right there. You could have just said no and kept it moving. That tells me that this is a consistent approach. Like this, he just, like a wide email. You know what I mean? To anybody who's looking like, all right, this looks nice. Let me see what she about. Let me copy and paste this and send it. You know what I mean? No judgment. If it works, it works. As long as nobody's hurt, nobody's getting harmed, hey, play ball. Play ball. So he says that, right? You could have just said no and kept it moving. But you are clearly in your feelings, going through all that effort with the poll, etc. I do agree with that. It's like, was it necessary to do all that extra stuff? Well, considering the fact that she felt rejected, even though she did the initial rejection, but she did the initial rejection, and then he responded unfazed and rejected the entire initial offer. He rejected everything. Like, listen, I only collab with people that I date. No hard feelings. And he kept it moving. And the reason why he was so unfazed is because you could tell this is not his first approach. He's done this before. It's a very light, easy approach. He probably wasn't even thinking about her after he said what he said, but she just kept on texting him. And then it got to this point, all right? Because she felt bothered by the rejection. That's my opinion. I think she felt bothered by the rejection. I'm like, oh, you brought this opportunity, got me all excited, and then you tell me that I got to smash in order to go through with this opportunity, and then I tell you I don't want to smash, but I still want to do the opportunity, and then you tell me, hey, if you're not smashing, you're not doing it at all. But hey, no hard feelings, girl. You know, I'm out. And then she just couldn't take it. I guess she felt like her peace was interrupted by this, and now she has to retaliate with all this. I don't know. But anyway, let's go on. So he says, Fit says, go ahead and screenshot the conversation to clout chase. I don't care what 75 simps said in your story to White Knight. The difference is I say what I want and don't care what you think. They do. He's saying that the White Knight simps that's commenting on the screenshots, that they care about what she thinks. But Fit is saying that he doesn't care about what she thinks. Like, bro, I don't care what these simps are saying in the comments. Like, I said what I had to say. If you're not with it, that's completely fine. Have a good day. It's simple. You know what I mean? So then she continues, I haven't slept with a bunch of dudes you know. Check your facts, dude, because this is... I mean, how does she know that he doesn't know the dudes that she hooked up with? It's kind of hard to say that until you find out who he knows, right? But anyway, he said, check your facts, dude, because this is a really ignorant claim. And I am pretty damn special. So that goes back to him saying, you effed a bunch of dudes. I know, and aren't special. Like you effed a bunch of dudes that I know and aren't special. I think he meant the dudes aren't special. But anyway, she goes, you are a fool for talking to me like this. You are a terrible representation of your podcast and your business, and I'll happily put you on blast.
Then I respond.
All right. So, that's basically all he shows in this little thread right here. So I'm guessing maybe after this, maybe she posted the interaction without blocking his name. So I don't know. But what y'all think, man? I know I just spent like a cool, probably, I don't even know how much time I spent talking about this, but what y'all think? That was pretty interesting. It just sucks the fact that the way this conversation should have ended from after he said, no hard feelings or whatever, because he didn't disrespect her. He was just giving her an offer. Now some people might take the offer as disrespect, like, hey, you think I'm that kind of person to be flown out and get smashed and just to sit on a podcast and be one of those random girls that sit in those seats? They might take it as disrespect. Did he mean any disrespect from it? I don't think so. I don't see a reason for him to disrespect a random person. He's trying to say, hey, are you the type of girl that likes to be flown out by guys who have money and clout? If so, I'm willing to be a consumer if you're selling that kind of product. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't know. What y'all think, man? Y'all think Fit was going crazy with that? You think he's in the wrong for that? Like he shouldn't be approaching people like that? Do you think it's cool that he does that? Do you find nothing wrong with that? Do you think Shorty was in the right to respond the way she did with the screenshots and all that extra stuff, trying to expose him? Or do you think that she did too much, that all she should have done was just be like, listen, I'm not the type of girl that likes to get flown out and dug out, you know what I mean, just to be on a podcast. It's not really my thing. I'd rather just keep it platonic, professional. So if you want to do it platonic, professional, hey, I'll love to come, interact, chop it up. But anything further than that, I'm going to have to pass on that. Should she have just approached it like that and then leave it alone? What do you think, man? Let me know in the comments, man.